On quarterly published PV ModuleTech bankability rating, LONGi is the only AAA rated module manufacturer since beginning of 2020. Today, I will focus my talk on what LONGi has been doing to earn this AAA rating. When we talk about good bankability, we are saying both company and product are reliable. First two sections of my presentation will focus on what LONGi does to ensure both company and product are reliable. Third section will focus on LONGi's technology leadership and consistent investment on R&D. I will end my presentation with a short summary. Reliable company and vertical integration. First, let me use a few numbers to give a brief intro to LONGi. LONGi started in 2000 as a dedicated mono wafer manufacturer. LONGi focuses on mono technology throughout its history. It's the largest mono wafer manufacturer globally. Last year in 2020, LONGi shipped more than 58 gigawatts of mono wafers, taking more than 40% of silicon wafer market share globally. At the end of 2014, LONGi expanded into cell and module business. Within 6 years, by 2020, LONGi became the largest module manufacturer. It's the first manufacturer that shipped more than 20 gigawatts of modules in a single year. Takes about 19% of global market share. LONGi is also the most bankable solar brand, the only AAA rated module manufacturer since Q1 of 2020 by PV ModuleTech bankability rating. LONGi always consider ourselves as a technology company. All these achievements are enabled by our consistent investment in R&D. Last year alone, we invested about $400 million USD, the most among all PV manufacturers. Since LONGi expanded into cell and module business at the end of 2014, we have steadily improved our capacity and shipment ranking in the last few years. Last year, 2020, LONGi became #1 module manufacturer with a 24.5 gigawatt global module shipment. LONGi is a vertically integrated PV manufacturer. We are the largest mono ingot and wafer manufacturer with more than 100 gigawatt capacity, and the largest module supplier with more than 60 gigawatt capacity. With the vertical integration, LONGi has optimal control on supply chain and also advanced capacity with the latest technology, not relying on others to deliver critical components. This is important with all supply uncertainty happening in the last couple of years. With a vertical integrated largest manufacturing capacity, we're able to better serve global customers with ever-increasing demand, becoming a reliable supplier. Responsible operation is our philosophy. LONGi has seen aggressive growth through our public history. Our revenue grows more than 50% annually on average. Even with such aggressive revenue growth, management has been very conscious about financial health to maintain strong profitability. As a result, LONGi has demonstrated the highest revenue and the best profitability in industry. We always think financial health is the best warranty from a PV manufacturer. We want to make sure a company can live sustainably to serve our product warranty. LONGi is a reliable company. LONGi has also strong commitment to sustainability. LONGi has joined global RE100, EV100, and EP100 initiatives in 2020, with commitment of using 100% renewable to power our operation by 2028, and will improve our operation energy efficiency by 35% by 2025 compared to 2015 level. LONGi has also established LONGi Hydrogen Company, focusing on green hydrogen equipment development to help deep decarbonization effort globally. Reliable product. Company is reliable. We also need to make sure our products are reliable. We would like to emphasize here that reliability is a foundation for realizing lower LCOE. All innovative technologies need to demonstrate solid reliability before high-volume manufacturing implementation. When we look at the simplified version LCOE equation, numerator is composed of all costs, including module costs, BOS costs, and other costs such as finance and O&M. Denominator is composed of energy yield. Technological innovations in the last few years have been focusing on module cost, BOS cost reduction, and energy yield improvement. Industry has enjoyed a quick drop on LCOE in the last few years as technological innovation accelerated. What is not obvious is that reliability from module and other system components play a critical role to ensure expected energy yield is realized in the field. If modules are not reliable, customers may experience significant energy yield loss throughout the project lifetime. The perceived lower LCOE with a new technology innovation becomes meaningless. We think reliability is the foundation for realizing lower LCOE. Good reliability ensures customer value is delivered. PV project systems are built to generate electricity consistently for more than 25 to 30 years. Extreme weather conditions become more and more common. It is more than likely to occur through the lifetime of PV project. We need to include sufficient margin into system and component design so that the whole project can perform well throughout lifetime of more than 30 years. At LONGi, we take a comprehensive approach on product quality and reliability. Reliability mindset is integrated into product development, manufacturing, and the deployment validation process. Customer value throughout the product lifecycle is our top priority. Reliability mindset starts from module design and material selection. We also use industry-leading technical standards during process optimization and reliability testing. We deployed comprehensive quality management system and implemented ongoing reliability monitoring program during the module production. We do not stop here. We actively engage with third-party labs and partners to validate real-life field performance of our product. Reliability mindset starts from material selection and module design. Material reliability is the prerequisite for LONGi's product design. LONGi will not compromise on quality standards just to increase the power or reduce cost. Reliable material and design are always the preferred choice. For example, when we design M10 bifacial module J-box, there are choices between single diode design versus dual diode design. When we found out dual diode design is not mature, especially with uneven current split issue not resolved, we opted to go with more mature single diode design. Another example, for bifacial modules, you can use either glass or transparent backsheet as back cover. During development, we have evaluated all available transparent backsheet in market. Reliability testing results showed multiple issues with transparent backsheet: yellowing, cracking, delamination, and higher power degradation in the DH plus UV test. On the other hand, double glass modules have demonstrated superior advantage in reliability testing with a significantly lower degradation. We have since stayed with the double glass construction for bifacial modules. Another example is when we design large format modules. All bifacial modules are constructed using 2 mm plus 2 mm glass. There is no support between two long frames. Middle of the module is supported by the glass only. Module size and power cannot continue increasing without increasing reliability risk. When module width, the span between two long frames, increased from 1.1 meter for 182 mm module to more than 1.3 meter with a 210 mm 60 cell or 66 cell module. the deformation under the same load increased 40 to 60%, and there are a lot more microcrack formation or higher chance to see glass breaking. Module size cannot keep increasing without compromising on reliability risk. Oversized modules are not reliable. The strict dynamic mechanical loading test at the 1500 Pascal also showed 182 72-cell module can survive more than 22,000 cycles, while oversized module failed after only 2,000 cycles. The dynamic mechanical loading lifetime of 182 72-cell module is more than 10 times higher than that of oversized module. This is mostly due to dimension difference. It is 2.6 meters square for 182 72-cell format, and then 3.1 meters square for oversized 210 66-cell format. Under the same pressure, larger dimension modules incur higher stress at the mounting points, resulting in earlier fatigue failure. At LONGi, we do not think keep increasing module dimension is a responsible approach for reducing BOS cost. Instead, we will focus on cell and module efficiency improvement. Smart soldering technology uses integrated segmented busbar for cell interconnection. On front of cell, ribbon is triangular shape for better light capturing. Between the cell and behind the cell, use thin flat ribbon, which reduces tensile stress, minimizing microcrack formation, improving long-term reliability. Its flexibility and then reduced stress also enables smaller cell-to-cell gap interconnection and then increases module efficiency. With smart soldering being one of major innovations incorporated, LONGi's HAMO 5 182 72-cell bifacial module is awarded prestigious 2021 Intersolar Award. For module production, we implemented comprehensive quality management system, including strict incoming material inspection procedure and criteria, consistent quality control procedure among all factories, and an ongoing reliability monitoring program. For ongoing reliability monitoring program, we are doing monthly testing for those critical items impacting module power degradation the most, such as PID, LID, and LETID. Other items are tested mostly on a quarterly basis. We also actively engage with third party to validate reliability and performance of our module products. At IETC, our modules have demonstrated top performance on all 9 criteria in 3 categories: reliability, performance, and quality, compared to other high achievers whose modules only scored high on some select tests. Here, manufacturer A through D are all top 10 module suppliers. At the PVL, LONGi modules achieved top performer status on all 6 tests, while other top 10 module suppliers normally only score high on some of tests. We have participated in PVL bifacial field energy data collection, together with other manufactured bifacial modules. Bifacial backside gain result published by PVL at a BiFi workshop show that backside gain from LONGi's bifacial modules can be as much as 2% higher than those from other bifacial modules. Not all bifacial modules are made the same. To ensure best performance, we have to pay close attention to all design and material details. With comprehensive approach managing product quality and reliability from design through production, we want to make sure our products are reliable and perform well throughout their lifetime. Technology leadership and R&D investment. LONGi is a leader in technology space for ingot, wafer, cell, and module manufacturing process. LONGi has demonstrated multiple world records on cell and module efficiency on commercial-sized wafers. Since 2017, multiple times on per cell and module efficiency. LONGi also actively developed advanced N-type technology and demonstrates industry-leading performance. In May of this year, we demonstrated 25.21% TOPCon cell efficiency world record. In October, we broke world record on heterojunction cell with a 26.3%. Actively involved in development of advanced technology, LONGi is able to gain deep understanding on their performance, progress, and cost, and decide at the right time to deploy them into production. In the last few years, there are a few major technological innovations adopted in PV industry, helping to reduce overall system costs and then improve LCOE significantly. This chart summarizes mono market share change in the last few years, and then a few major advanced technologies LONGi is leading the way introducing into market. Ever since 2006, LONGi has been focusing on mono ingot and wafer technology development, working with industry partners to optimize materials, equipment, and then process to improve productivity and reduce cost, delivering low-cost mono wafer to the market. In 2016 and 2017, LONGi introduced mono PERC and bifacial PERC modules into market, diligently working with partners and customers to demonstrate value of bifacial technology, enabling industry-wide adoption. In the last couple of years, using large size wafer M6 and M10 to improve module power has been an effective approach to reduce BOS cost. LONGi is leading the effort on M6 and M10 wafer and module size standardization. These innovations help the market and customer realize benefit of mono technology, and then enable mono market share quickly increase from less than 20% in 2015 to more than 90% nowadays. LONGi technology roadmap becomes industry benchmark for technological innovations. All these innovations are focusing on bringing better value for our customers by reducing BOS costs, improving energy yield, and realizing lower LCOE. What is driving force for realizing all these technological innovations? It is consistent investment in R&D. LONGi always consider ourselves as a technology company and invest 5 to 7% of our revenue in R&D consistently throughout company history. In the past 9 years, the total investment in R&D reached about $1.2 billion, significantly higher than peers. Right chart compares our 2020 R&D spending to our peers. It is higher than next 5 combined. Consistent investment in the R&D enables LONGi to develop products with a leading performance at lower cost, helping industry to adopt advanced technology sooner and achieving lower LCOE. It also enables LONGi to achieve strong financial performance and the best bankability rating in industry. In summary, bankability means both company and products are reliable. LONGi is a reliable company, vertically integrated through ingot, wafer, cell, and module manufacturing, offering optimal control on supply chain, largest wafer and module capacity to serve ever-expanding global demand, conservatively managed, demonstrating strong financial health and stability. LONGi takes comprehensive approach on product quality and reliability. We think reliability is a foundation for realizing lower LCOE. All innovative technologies need to demonstrate solid reliability before high-volume manufacturing implementation. Reliability mindset starts with material selection and module design, comprehensive quality management system, and the ongoing reliability program ensures product quality and reliability. Third-party validation demonstrates superior quality and reliability performance with the LONGi module products. Consistent investment in R&D has enabled LONGi technology leadership position, and the LONGi technology roadmap becomes industry benchmark for technological innovations. LONGi is also committed to long-term sustainability. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you for the presentation, Hongbin. That was fascinating again to see all the advances and all the investments made by LONGi within manufacturing and across the testing and the value chain. So I just have a few questions I'd like to ask about. You know, now that LONGi has shipping so much volume of product, and this has been really a massive change in the past, you know, 3 or 4 years. Are we now at the point where you're accumulating a lot of data from your own modules performing in the field? If you just look at the shipment volumes, 20, 30 gigawatts in a year, that's an awful lot of data to get back in tracking the module. So how much visibility do you have on the modules once they get sold and they're installed in the field?
Yeah, I think we do have some data feedback from the customers, right, from customer globally, and you know that's it is you know we are working with the customers all over the world to gain insight into how our modules perform in the long run, right? But actually, we start these actually probably well before we ship the modules, right? We have this mindset on the reliability and also on the performance, starting from the module design and the material selections. And as you can see in my, you know, just here in my presentation, that we put a lot of emphasis on the long-term reliability, and even in the development phase, we work with the third-party labs and also downstream partners closely to verify, to validate the field performance, right? So this is a good example is on the bifacial module deployment. We started back in 2017. We spent a lot of effort with the third-party labs, like tracker companies and also customers to validate the backside gain. So we accumulate a lot of data even before we make the massive production and market deployment.
Yep. Okay, and you kind of touched on an issue there about you know, working with, you know, the developers and the test labs. Do you see a difference supplying modules in high volumes, which LONGi is doing now, outside China around the world? You know, I think everybody's got a good awareness about how much third-party testing is done in the US. At, you know, the likes of PVEL and RETC and all the work that's done at NREL. But what about other countries? Is the requirements for module selection in the US, is it harder to get qualified there than it is in other regions? Or when you look at supplying high volume of product to, you know, Brazil and Australia and Japan, is it different laboratories and different testing? Is the world full of lots of different test centers every time you go to sell modules? How do you see the world in terms of testing in third-party labs?
I think all the customers, you know, in different countries, they would like to have the reference performance, reference, you know, data from third-party labs and the partners, and also especially in those local areas. That definitely there's a value, I think, in every region you have the localized data, because the weather conditions, you know, the project side conditions, a lot of things are kind of different, from different regions. So I think third-party labs in US, I guess in many cases is more like a pioneer, early adoptions on new technology, for example, bifacial, right? So I think that's why we have a lot more experience over there. And nonetheless, we also have worked with other third-party labs like TUV, right? And in different regions to gather data in different locations, Middle East, India, and Europe. And so I think the customer really appreciate that you have third-party data, especially the localized data, right? We are working with the third-party labs in other regions as well, and like LATAM and Europe, try to establish a better data base for our customers.
And what kind of things? What are the main things that have been fed back into manufacturing? Because I guess every time extensive testing is done, first of all, it's to show product reliability and performance, but also in order to feedback to the module manufacturers how to make the products better, even better, going forward. Is there anything that has been critical in terms of that feedback loop, that where it's gone back into manufacturing at LONGi to improve product reliability in the last couple of years?
Certainly, we are expanding our capabilities, our working relationship with our customers, and basically not only before the shipment or during the shipment, we also try to take care and try to get some feedback even after the modules have been running for some time in the field, right? So we have been trying to establish this as a return visit protocol for the major project, utility project. Only go back to visit the project after the module has been installed, maybe for a year or couple of years. And so that there are a couple of aspects to that. One is trying to get some field data feedback, right? How the module perform. And the other one will also go back to see if there's any module defects that can be identified as we go back to visit. Or we can also help customers in some cases and to make some corrections on during the installation and during the maintenance, and try to ensure the modules are installed and then maintained in a healthy way, right? That so that we can maximize the output from our module.
Yes, I guess it's the whole life of the module. So the next question, you spoke at the start about the financial health of LONGi, and it's it's a company at the moment that seems to be at the top of the list for manufacturing, for module supply, for R&D investment, for profitability, return on investment. Everything is number one at the moment. How does LONGi have such high profitability when you're going through such a fast rate of expansion and building new factories? How do you stay profitable when you're constantly expanding and going to the next level, but the company's always seems to stay profitable? Can you give one or two areas how does LONGi do this and no one else can do it?
Yeah, I think there are a few factors here. I think this financial health profitability is not a one day, 1 year effort, right? This is accumulated through the whole history of LONGi, right? And as I mentioned in my presentation, that I think there are a couple of things I think we are kind of doing it very consistently, and I think that really made some difference. One is on really enabled is our technology leadership, which is enabled by our consistent investment in R&D, right? We make this being profitable not by save, but by investment. What this consistent investment help us? There are a few aspects. One is to help us to get very good visibility on the technology going forward, right? What are the performance we can achieve, and what is the cost structures, and what's the progress in the whole supply chain in terms of equipment and materials, so that when we try to expand, we know what's the best setup. And that's also the consistent investment in R&D help us to develop the product with a leading performance but a lower cost, right? And this is for example, the mono wafer manufacturing process. This is a accumulation of more than 15 years of experience, and then there's an advantage that we accumulated, and know-how, expertise accumulated internally, that help us to maintain the best cost structure in this advanced technology. And also when we expand, we also expand. Our management are very conscious about we always expand in the area that we can be number one, right? We think we can be number one. We don't expand just because the whole market is going that way. That's not the case. So in that sense, our management are pretty conservative in terms of direction. But once we think this is the right direction, we will expand very aggressively. For example, on this when we introduced M6 back in 2019, we see the whole market accept this technology very well. That's why we expand very aggressively, and we're able to jump our shipment were able to jump from about 9 gigawatt in 2019 to more than 24 gigawatt in 2020, right? So this is something I think is really differentiate us. And we also, when we expand, our management always, try to do the calculations. If the technology make economic sense for our customers, we will do it, right? We are not doing it because the market think, the market is hard, everything, this is hard technology, we're going to expand. That's not the case. That's never the case in LONGi. We always, try to think if the technology make economic sense, can help the customers to reduce the BOS, can realize low ACOE or not. If that's the case, then we will expand. Like for example, mono technology, PERC, bifacial, and then it's M6 and M10. So all these are because we think can make enough economic sense for the customer. In turn, it will make economic sense for LONGi. That's why when we expand aggressively, but you can still maintain very good profitability.
Yes, it's the industry leader should be the technology leader, should be the cost leader. Being the leader in supplying solar modules should be about all those factors. And I think the questions often come up from people that are looking at the solar industry, people that are using solar modules, because in the past the industry has been in an infancy stage. It's been growing from a very small base, small manufacturers, and many companies were trying very hard to become number one in module shipments, but that was that was the main part of their strategy or tactic. Where when they got to be the number one module supplier, there was nothing to go forward on in terms of technology and strategy and value chain. So I guess that's probably where LONGi is a bit different now compared to a number of other companies that have had module leadership, is that it seems to be part of a long-term strategy that goes in alignment with R&D investments and value chain. So, it's really interesting to see and get your thoughts on. But one thing that I would like to ask you about, and I guess that because when you become the number one module supplier, you are actually talking to people about the industry, because you're the main player. Then your thoughts about some industry issues are even more appropriate. And LONGi has put a lot of investment into vertical integration from the start, specific to mono, and it really has paid off in the last few years. But the one part that LONGi does not do is making polysilicon. And it seems at the moment that this is where the industry is lacking a company that's doing everything. And everybody at the moment is exposed because of there's a few polysilicon suppliers and they're not part of the module supply chain. So how is Longi, what are your thoughts about the fact that vertical integration only extends back to making ingots? How does the solar industry get the whole value chain more coordinated moving forward so the polysilicon suppliers can't charge such big pricing? I mean, this is what everyone wants to understand at the moment, is how do prices go down? And to me, it's all about how the industry works better together, the people supplying the polysilicon and the people supplying the modules. So how do you think that will change going into 2022? Do you think it will change and there'll be better coordination of raw material supply that will bring the pricing down? Is this something that customers can expect to see maybe in 12 months' time?
Basically, first, I think polysilicon is kind of a different expertise that Longi is not, good at it, right? So that's why we did not, integrate, expand into the polysilicon business, and that's consistent with our mindset, our management mindset, and our way of, approaching things, and then definitely, we think, a better coordination through the supply chain will benefit the whole industry, right? And so you will see, and I think the polysilicon capacity, the signaling capacity will come up in the next 12 to 18 months, right? And by that time frame, the price, I think, for the polysilicon could stabilize and then slowly come down. And this is but I think this pricing is always driven by the supply and demand balance, and we'll need to see how that balance plays out. And so even those players are not quite in the overall supply, there's still loads of some of the poly suppliers and are also making wafers and other aspects, right? So it is somehow integrated. And I guess this is something that the whole industry probably have to work together to see what's the balance. And long-term, spike high pricing on one component probably is not healthy for the whole industry either.
No, it's definitely not helpful for the whole industry. It seems that something that you can do in the short term, but it's not something that you want to do in the long term to survive. And because people remember when things are not going well, pricing issues. So in terms of the people that are going to buy modules in the next 12 to 18 months, what would be the main thing that you would want to tell them about what they can expect in terms of module improvements? Maybe 12 to 18 months out, what would be the main things for product performance, product reliability that they can expect to see when they get hold of the next generation modules? Are there 2 or 3 main things that you think will improve in the next couple of years for module supply?
Yeah, I think in the last couple of years, probably one of the main advancement or main changes in the industry, this is large format modules, right? And I guess in the next 12 to maybe even 24 months, it still takes the industry some effort to get accustomed to these large format modules and work out all the performance and the reliability kinks, right? And so that these large format modules can be widely adopted in the utility scale projects. And this is definitely a clear trend that will happen in the, you already see that happening in the last 12 months and will, continue to happen in the next 12, 18 months. At the same time, we also want to educate, the industry that the module size cannot go infinitely larger, right? Cannot continue increasing And because if you look at the double glass modules, is the bifacial modules, double glass, 2 millimeter glass. It cannot, in the middle of the module, there's no other support, right? It's pretty much supported by the glass itself.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot make the module significantly larger without without compromising reliability risks. That's why we think, the module size will stabilize, will stop where we are, and at LONGi we will stop at 182, 72 cell format, and then instead, I think in the next couple of years you will see more and more advanced cell technology, high efficiency technology get adopted and implemented into production, right? So this high efficiency could be on the module level, there are a few knobs and people try to optimize, right? A small gap and multi-bus bar. And then this is a smart sorting. What do we have? This is basically a triangular shape. The ribbon on the front side can improve the light capturing. So though there's still a few knobs that can turn on the module side to improve the efficiency. At the same time, on the cell efficiency side, advanced technology are becoming more and more cost competitive, right? For example, TOPCons could become in some applications and become cost competitive and at the LCOE level, right? For adoption. So you will see that probably going to have more and more of those advanced technology get adopted to improve the cell and module efficiency in the next couple of years. That's definitely you will see that as a trend as well.
Yeah, and I'd agree. I think that will happen probably in 2023. It seems that everybody's sold out for most of 2022 with existing product. So the changes then have to happen in 2023 when there's hopefully more polysilicon and there's more scope to change things. But yeah, it's fascinating how quickly things are changing at the moment. So Hongbin, I think we have to wrap things up there. We've gone beyond our time period, but again, it's just fascinating to see the growth at LONGi, and I spend a lot of time doing the benchmarking on module suppliers, and it's definitely the first time the industry has seen a company that's had manufacturing and financial health at such high levels consistently. So on that basis, I'm sure we'll be talking next year, and we'll all be tracking what's happening with company bankability and reliability and performance. And I look forward to hearing from you in 2022. So again, thank you very much, Hongbin.
Yeah, thank you. It is our pleasure to be able to present here, and also your bankability rating work is a very nice and good summary analysis for the industry. I really enjoy working with you guys, and then hope to see you soon.
Great. Okay. Thanks, Hongbin. Thank you again.